Yo, what's happening? My name's Dylan. You can call me Dill. I'm 41 years old. I've been on YouTube for like well over 10 years now. I've got about 2,600 subscribers at this moment in time. Now, if you're doing the math, you're probably thinking you have failed. Because so have I for ages. But I don't think that anymore. So I want to explain to you why I'm still here, why I feel more motivated than ever, and why making YouTube videos in 2026 as a small channel actually makes sense. Maybe this is researched strategy, or maybe it's just complete blind optimism. Well, let's get into it. So my first upload was actually in 2010. It was a clip of my best friend Ryan crashing on his skateboard. You hit the ground so hard. Are you okay? Oh, that was good. What's this? Does that hurt?
I couldn't actually power slide because it was going.
It's one of my favorite pieces of video ever. I filmed that back then on a Hi8 tape camcorder. He hates that I filmed it, and he's definitely gonna hate that I'm showing it to the world. Anyway, I started posting more consciously on YouTube at around 2016. It was a mixture of like beer festivals, vlogs, photographic stuff, some surfing, some weird scripted ideas. It was a mix mash of stuff with absolutely no direction. And that strategy followed suit until now. But why the hell do I make videos? So like, if you're new here, I am a photographer and a videographer. I work freelance and I'm based in Northern Ireland. This is my actual job, and I've been working professionally in this industry since 2007 as a graphic designer, as an art director, a photographer, a video maker of sorts. I've worked in branding, e-commerce, advertising. I've worked for ad agencies. Nowadays, I work full-time freelance, self-employed for myself with a mix of clients across multiple different sectors. I shoot, I edit, I design, I invoice, I stress about money, I doubt myself creatively, all the normal stuff that comes with the creative freelance life. Now let's look at the real problem. For a long time I told myself, at least I'm uploading. But uploading without intention is not the same as building something. YouTube is just something I did on the side. There was no structure, there was no plan, there was no strategy, and there was no real direction. I sort of uploaded when I felt like it, and I talked about a mixture of things from photography to surfing to video making, sometimes gear, sometimes hiking vlogs, and sometimes golf. Sometimes I disappeared for a while, then I would come back pretty motivated and be consistent for a short period of time and then start the cycle again. I've also created 2 different video podcasts in the last fucking 8 years with different friends of mine. And I've also got my own solo podcast. And you guessed it, it's the same strategy on all of those: inconsistency. And the result is I have a channel that reflects exactly that. Unfocused, inconsistent, and honestly, it's just confusing. There was a point where I started to focus it more on photography. I tried to use that as a direction, but I'm not really a big like gearhead sort of person. And it seemed like the only way to grow a photography channel was to talk about gear. And I didn't really enjoy doing that. For years I've joked about the algorithm hating me, like I'm sitting in some sort of internet waiting room and I haven't been granted full access to the adult internet yet. And so I post something, it gets shown to 3 other people and then no one else. Like there's a button I was supposed to press somewhere that was like post to actual internet so everybody sees it. But in hindsight, my Instagram did actually have a structure. It was about photography, so I just made my YouTube the same thing. I was working full-time as an art director in the city, and around that job I would take photographs in the city, and my Instagram is a behind the scenes of a photographer showing techniques and ideas and thought processes around photography in the city. As a byproduct of that, I just made interesting videos about that. Short story is, I grew an Instagram following because of that. And then I binned the whole structure at some point and made my Instagram as random as my YouTube channel. So my YouTube channel never really went anywhere. Not because YouTube was broken, but because I didn't really know what I wanted to do or what I wanted to be. That wasn't YouTube's fault, that was mine, admittedly. I remember my buddy Donna saying to me years ago, why do you bother putting all this effort into Instagram, put this effort into YouTube? And at that time I was like, nah, made no sense. Then when I look back, he was right. He was actually right. Anyway, about 15 weeks ago, I committed to doing something simple. A behind the scenes vlog of my creative life. It wasn't a highlight reel. It wasn't a get rich quick. It wasn't a top tips with cameras or anything like that. It was just me, the work, and the life around it. Shoots, edits, studio time, family time, my life, you know, some surfing, a little bit of golf, the real stuff that happens in around trying to navigate and build and run a freelance life as a creative. But here's the important part. The views did not explode, but my clarity did. One of my biggest shifts in my 40s is this. I care way more about owning my own time than I do about impressing people with the hustle culture. Now that is said with a little bit of irony because the way I work is quite full gas. Don't let that fool you. I want time. Time to be creative. Time to enjoy the work and the projects that I'm working on. Time to enjoy family moments. Surfing, cycling. I want to play sports. I want time to think clearly. I love the work that I do, but I also have a life that I enjoy living. And time is very valuable. I joked about the saying, love what you do and you'll never work another day in your life, when the reality of it is actually that if you love what you're doing, you just don't realize that you're working all the time because it's intertwined. But the value of my time, that is now what drives every decision, including YouTube. Look, the creative industry is moving so fast. I see like so many younger creatives moving so quickly, adapting and changing, doing mad shit with weird gear, and I laugh because like that was me 15 years ago. Looking at people my age going, what an old fart. And now I'm that person. But look, I'm not over the hill yet. I still got a good amount of run left in me. But here's the flip side. I've been doing this long enough to make the mistakes, to know what doesn't work. I've chased the wrong things and learned the hard way. I've learned the importance of people, relationships, story, and connection. Just jazzy words. And that experience doesn't show up in flashy reels and thumbnails, but it does show up in how you think, how you work, how you explain things, and how you explore your creative processes. And in a world moving so quickly with AI, technology, and software changes, the core of being creative is still at the heart of the person doing it. All of these things are just tools in how we create. YouTube released their 2025 Culture Trends report, and one thing stood out to me. The platform isn't just rewarding viral hits anymore. It is starting to reward things like consistency, perspective, and people making series. People want to follow people, not just topics. They want to see and understand the process and the thinking behind things and build a connection with the person on camera. They want context. They want to feel like they're part of something. It talks a lot about creators becoming the product and not just the content, which is interesting because Jack Conte, the creator of Patreon, he had this concept a few years back I'd seen where he talked about these little like islands of, you know, topics and interests. So it's the world moving away from the interest being in the creator and being more around the topic. And Gary Vee has coined that term interest media. We've moved away from social media, we're into interest media, alluding to the idea that people are just interested in a thing and the people making it are irrelevant. Now, while I agree with a lot of what they're saying, they've also missed the mark, in my opinion, in the people. We want perspective and connection from people who have lived the life, explored the things, and done the stuff. That's kind of when it clicked. Like, my channel isn't about photography. It's about me creating and sustaining a creative life that doesn't burn me out. And that covers so many things within that. Now, I don't want to break down client numbers, give away personal information or stuff like that, but I do want to show you how I structure my weeks, how I think through projects, how I work, the behind the scenes of that, how I balance life and work, and how I protect my time. Looking at the work, the good weeks, the bad weeks, the boring weeks, the decisions I make, the doubts, the creative execution, and the exploration that's involved in everything that we have to do. Photography, video, and design are just my tools for directing and driving the story. I am gonna make some changes this year. One thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move out of this hired studio. The studio dream is cool. I've had a bunch of different studios over the last 7 years. The dream was always to build an agency. Initially that was design, and as it pushed on, it was like a collective of creatives. So while that was always the goal, my mindset has changed and I feel like that's someone else's dream now. The plan now is to convert my garage into a home studio. Something functional, calm, and flexible. A place to work, record videos, and shoot some small product stuff. I also have a way to build systems in for some of the larger studio stuff that I do shoot for clients throughout the year. It's more about designing my life to support my work, not the other way around. But more on all that soon as it develops. Long term, I want to build an online community, maybe on something like School. An honest place for creative conversation, consultation, coaching, support. whether it's with individual creatives one-on-one or with businesses. I've done a lot of educational stuff over the years with businesses, with universities, with art communities. I've talked on stages about photography, about videography, about being a content creator, hosted workshops, and done one-on-one coaching sessions with people on how to make stuff. I've also done a lot of brand consultation work, creative marketing strategies. I've worked with agencies in Belfast on large campaign creatives from a creative consultation point of view. I really enjoy that side of it. Understanding the creative psychology of how these things work, what people do, how they think, how they interact with the pieces. And I still get a lot of people and companies now asking me to do this work, and it's something I'd like to bring in to want to do a lot more. The reason YouTube feels like it's worth doing now is not about growth, but it's more like alignment. For the first time, I feel like I know what this channel is about, who this is for, and why I am showing up. I don't need 1 million subscribers. I just want people who care about this life, who are interested in the stories, who maybe want to learn some of what I have to say. And I'd like to entertain them along the way. 41. I don't feel late, but I do feel ready. I've got experience, I've got context, and now I finally have a direction. I'm not trying to win YouTube, I'm just trying to use it properly for the first time ever. If you're into creative work, freelance life, balance, and building something sustainable, that's what this channel is now. If you've been watching the vlogs, it gives you a good tone of what I'm going to be chatting about. No hype, no pretending, no bullshit. Just real life, real work, documented behind the scenes. By me, about me. There'll be behind the scenes vlogs, honest chats, and just an insight into the life of a creative in their 40s, early 40s, anyone asks. The work, the thinking, the trade-offs, and the creative decisions that I make along the way. There'll also be a little bit of surfing, some golf. Honestly, this is the most excited I've been about making YouTube stuff in a decade. So, if it interests you, stick around. There'll be some more videos. Common bits and pieces, and I'll keep you posted on all the other little elements that are happening along the way. If you have any questions, drop me in the comment section below. DM me on Instagram, which most people do, and I'll catch you in the next video. Laters.